Right now at 6, no jail time for the off-duty pilot who admitted he tried to shut down a plane's engines while flying over Portland. Plus,
it's unforgivable that they would delay this any longer.
A family devastated as sentencing is suddenly delayed for a loved one's convicted killer. Then,
a juvenile humpback whale stranded over the weekend here on a beach in Oregon. Volunteers tried to save it over the last couple of days. Now, a sad update that those that first saw it never wanted.
And later, why experts say those higher prices are apparently here to stay.
I went to the store the other day and I cannot believe how expensive beef is. So we are now a beef-free house for a while.
We begin at 6 with a federal judge sparing former Alaska Airlines pilot Joseph Emerson prison time after he tried to shut down a plane's engines mid-flight over Portland. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Padawanich.
And I'm David Molko. Instead, Emerson was sentenced to time served along with 3 years of supervised release. Kyle Boshi was in the newsroom and is live downtown at the federal courthouse. Kyle?
Well, after today's sentencing hearing, Joseph Emerson hugged his wife and thanked his friends. He hopes to become a substance abuse counselor and continue helping pilots.
The former Alaska Airlines pilot accused of trying to bring down a passenger flight will serve no prison time. A federal judge spared Joseph Emerson, sentencing him to credit for time served and supervised release for 3 years. Emerson's friends and family supported him in the courtroom.
It's just very sad to see how it's been portrayed. Joe's a great guy, and it's just, mental illness is a real thing.
In October 2023, prosecutors say the off-duty pilot tried to shut down a plane's engines while riding as a passenger in the cockpit. Horizon Flight 2059 from Everett to San Francisco made an emergency landing in Portland. 83 other passengers and crew were on board. In September, Emerson was sentenced in state court to 5 years of probation and community service.
I regret the harm that I caused. I regret the harm I caused to every single person on board that airplane.
Emerson admits he struggled with depression and alcoholism. He'd taken psychedelic mushrooms 2 days before the incident and told investigators he thought he was dreaming. The case drew national attention to the need for more mental health support for pilots.
He's getting to be able to help lots of pilots and not be locked up and be able to be there and help people that are going through mental illness and be able to effectively communicate that they need the help that they need.
Federal prosecutors had asked for 1 year in prison, but in the end, the judge determined Emerson had already faced significant consequences after being fired by the airline and losing his pilot's license.
You may remember some of the passengers filed a class action lawsuit against Alaska Airlines. That case settled out of court.
Kyle Boshi downtown. Thank you, Kyle. A reminder, if you or someone you know is struggling, help is available 24/7. Just call or text 988. That's the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, which provides confidential support and crisis resources. Again, that number is 988.
In your headlines, hundreds of National Guard members will be sent home from their Portland deployment. The U.S. Army Northern Command has ordered 100 Oregon Guard members demobilized, but another 100 will remain. 200 California National Guard troops will also reportedly be sent home. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek wants all Guard members demobilized. She says they've been away from families for 50 days on what she calls an unnecessary deployment. Meantime, the Trump administration is appealing a federal judge's order that permanently blocked the deployment. Unless the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals weighs in, the remaining 100 troops will be demobilized on Friday.
Clackamas County Commissioners have appointed Matt Bunch to fill the state House seat left vacant by Christine Drazen. Bunch currently chairs the Clackamas County Fair Board and has worked in insurance and education. He previously ran for District 51 in 2024 before dropping out of the race to support Drazen. She, by the way, was recently appointed to a vacant state Senate seat and also announced her intention to run for governor.
Dramatic new video out of Snohomish, Washington, where deputies rescued a driver from a burning pickup truck. They were initially called to the scene because the driver of the truck was reportedly ramming the back of an SUV. Deputies used a fire extinguisher to slow the spread of the fire. There you see it. and pulled the driver out. And it turns out that driver was having a medical emergency. No word on how he's doing tonight.
And the family of a Clackamas murder victim will have to wait longer for some semblance of closure. That's after a judge delayed the sentencing for the man convicted of killing 43-year-old Tristan Thomas. Joe Ranieri explains why.
It was an emotional day for family members of Tristan Thomas.
My brother was taken from us brutally, and the trauma of his death has changed every part of our lives. My brother was a father, son, sibling, friend, and a human being with a future he never got to live.
His brother Philip talked about how empty this past year has been since his brother's murder. According to the district attorney's office, a fight broke out between Thomas and Chad Westover outside his Clackamas County apartment in the summer of 2024. A jury convicted Westover of stabbing Thomas to death. On Monday morning, Thomas's family was expecting Westover to be sentenced.
We were a bit blindsided today. As soon as the judge walked in the room, the defense asked for a motion to delay sentencing for 3 weeks.
Instead, the judge granted a motion to delay sentencing because the defense told the judge last Friday they might have new information that might lead to a new trial. What that new information is wasn't revealed in court.
I thought you were an educated lawyer and kind of knew your business, but obviously not if you had to wait till Friday to do this.
Family members were shocked to find out shortly after court started. The one person who wasn't in court was Thomas's mom, who was waiting in a hospital bed to learn how long her son's killer was going to be in prison for.
A year ago, she was canoeing with Tristan, going on adventures, trips, having a great time. The last year, her health has declined dramatically.
Now the entire family is going to have to wait another month.
Her heart's not working. She's basically dying of a broken heart. The toll it's taken on her is unbelievable.
To find out if justice will be served for a son, brother, and a father.
It's unforgivable that they would delay this any longer.
Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
Okay, let's take a step outside now, looking from our Rose City Skycam at downtown Portland. 49 degrees tonight in the city. A dry night, though, after a bit of a rainy weekend.
No, Matt, it sounds like the week ahead will not be a washout.
No, it won't be too bad. We got a couple of times and we'll see a little bit of rain, but nothing major. And boy, the sunset tonight was fantastic. This from our Lincoln City Skycam. With the clouds having cleared, notice the northerly flow, usually a dry pattern for us. And there she goes at 4:25 or something ridiculously early. It is that time of year. 49 in Salem right now, still some color on the trees down that way. Tomorrow, clouds or fog will break up as a weak weather system comes in. Generally dry, 48 will be the high, so it'll be cooler. Could be a sprinkle here and there, but nothing really worth getting excited about there. So morning fog, better chance for showers on very early on Thursday morning. Then that dries out, and of course coming up, we'll take an early look at Thanksgiving week, which will probably start rainy, but it probably won't end that way. Guys?
That's going to be good news to a lot of families out there. Thanks, Matt. To the Oregon coast now, and a juvenile humpback whale that ended up stuck on the beach near Yachats.
And after several rescue attempts, it now appears a veterinarian will euthanize the whale. Devin Haskins has the details.
A stranded humpback whale, still alive and just a baby, had captured the attention of so many. It had been given the nickname of Hope by those hoping it would return again to the ocean.
There was a crab line tied around its right fin, and then it led to another rope tied around its mouth.
Victoria Kwasinski says she looked out her beachfront windows on Saturday afternoon and saw the whale entangled in crab lines.
The animals seemed very distressed, and but we were hoping that, cutting that rope, she was going to be able to get free.
That night and in the 2 days since, several volunteers never lost hope trying to free the whale with no success. Something whale experts say, although good intentioned, is not safe.
There's no way you can move a 5 to 10 ton whale with a few people on the beach in darkness.
Jim Rice is the stranded program manager for the Oregon State University Marine Mammal Institute.
So time is very of the essence. Trying to get the animal back in the water is obviously a high priority.
He says the longer a whale stays ashore, the weaker it gets.
They're not designed to be out of the water. Their bodies can't accommodate the weight of their bodies, and their circulation gets changed, and they shunt blood to critical areas of the body, and the tissues themselves start to die.
A tribal ceremony for this juvenile whale in its final minutes before being euthanized, an ending no one had hoped for.
I know everybody wanted a different outcome, and I'm just at peace with the fact that the whale is going to be at peace, because I've been watching her struggle for 2 days, and she tried.
Oregon State University's Marine Mammal Institute will now perform a necropsy on the whale to try and learn more about it. As for what happens to it, they say that's unknown, but most likely Oregon State Parks will be in charge of burying it. Just north of Yachats, I'm Devin Haskins, KGW News.